How you guys doing? Welcome back to Conversations Over Chess. The individual who's coming by the podcast today is internationally known. He's a friend of mine. He's an artist, a musician, just an all-around Renaissance man. He's the epitome of the verse of "I can sell water to a whale." This individual gets to it. Miliano Bagrunner.
Gotta separate the real from the fake. Navigating through the love and the hate. No more sipes, I'ma smoke to the face. Heard the feds in the hood and they tryna build the case.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that intro.
Appreciate you for having me,
That's
man.
dope. I like that a lot.
How's your day going?
Going smooth, Blessed.
Blessed, man.
For sure.
A lot of people see you where you're at right now. Thousands of followers on IG. You're literally international presence where you go on across the pond and did interviews, music with people from all over the world. But where I want to start at is where on IG 2018, where you were just you in the studio with a dollar and a dream, so to speak.
Right.
Start there from who put the mic in your hand, quote unquote, right? Because we're both former basketball players. About who put the ball in your hand. Who put the mic in your hand, and how did you say, "I'm gonna stick with this," or "I'm not gonna stick with this"?
I mean, honestly, I feel like the mic kind of just found me. Like, honestly, I always been doing music. Not doing music, but I was always freestyling in school, at the lunch table, doing stuff like that. But I never thought, it would actually turn into doing something until one day I went to the studio. And I did a verse, and I played it for a couple of people. I was just sending it out. And they was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, you sound good, what I mean? So once that gave me the confidence to do it, then I just really kept pushing from there, kept being consistent from there, you know what I mean? So it was just like the mic. It was just natural. I feel like it's a calling. You know what I mean. It kind of just everything just kind of happened naturally. You know what I mean. I never really, like you said, we used to be ball players. I thought I was going to the league.
Yeah, man.
But it didn't pan out. You know what I mean.
That's
so,
a fact.
But everything happens for a reason. You know
No,
what I mean?
that's a fact. Who were those individuals at that time speaking life into you? Because growing up where we're from, right, city, right, you can get caught up in a lot of nonsense. So who was those individuals saying, "Hey, you're a ball player. Hey, you good at music. Stick to that"? Who were those individuals just speaking life into you?
I mean, mostly a lot of people in my circle were already kind of into music, but halfway into it, not really into it. So a lot of my friends that I went to high school with, a lot of my friends back home in the Bronx, even family members, they just once I played my music and I didn't really get one bad review, everybody was just like, yo, that's fire, keep going with that. So that kind of just built my confidence. Confidence is everything. Once I built my confidence up, then just kept going from there, you know what I mean? So
Is anybody else in your family that does music?
my dad used to do music. My dad used to be a DJ back in the day.
Okay.
So and he always had a big collection of CDs. My dad was always into music. My mom was kind of not into music, but she was always listening to music growing up.
Ivory Coast, right? That's
Yeah,
where you're from?
and then Ivory Coast too. Being African too is just we're real musical people. You know what I mean? We always dancing and always into the arts. You know what I mean? So even last time I went back to Ivory Coast. I think it was 2022 or 2021, and it was just damn, all these people were so artistic. This is where it comes from for me. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Speak to that a little bit, because with your father having a musical ear almost, right, and you as well being an artist, speak to that, just how much it influenced you. Who are those people that he was listening to that you remember back then? Because I can remember a song my mom used to always play is "I'm in love with a man nearly twice my age." I'm like, what's going on? Ain't that something wrong with that picture, mommy? But I ain't understanding.
Right.
So I remember specific songs that she used to play. What were those songs for you that you remember?
I mean, it was a lot. Being from Ivory Coast, it was a wide being from Africa in general. My dad, he had a wide range of music that he liked, from American music to African music. So it could be anywhere from Michael Jackson to African artists that y'all probably never heard of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just I can't really pinpoint one, because it was so much. I just been surrounded by music, whether we in a car or we in a house or whatever.
Yeah. So walk us through some of your approach to music, right? Because Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Live here in the States, in the city as well.
Right.
I'm always envious of individuals who have an international point of view because exposure leads to expansion. All
Right.
right. So speak to how much having that much exposure to the world plays a part into your music and just that approach that you take to making it.
It kind of just gives me like a wider approach, as in like it's not really like a narrow angle. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You
So
don't just
like,
stay focused on one lane.
yeah, you know what I mean? And because when you making music, you want to reach as much people as possible, and people all over the world is going to connect to your story. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I try to make music not from a New York perspective, but from a global perspective, to where it could connect with somebody in London, or it could connect with somebody in Africa or Brazil, wherever. You know what I mean? So it definitely like affects, like, certain words, like, certain word choices might be, you might have to change a word here and there, so it could just
Definitely.
have a global appeal as in just a local appeal, because in New York we got our own lingo.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know what I
fact.
mean? And just like different places, like, okay, upstate got their own lingo, the Bronx got its own lingo, everybody else
Yeah.
got their own
All,
lingo.
all the
So
boroughs have their own
yeah,
lingo.
exactly. You know what I mean? So like, you got to try to make it as wide as possible, and like as people can understand it.
Definitely. All right. So
Now it's time to pay these bills.
this episode is brought to you by Legendary Apparel by Kimaj the Creator. Don't let the fly name or my fly fit fool you. Legendary Apparel is a one-stop shop for all streetwear and essentials. Outside of the items that I'm wearing, he also offers bags, sweatsuits, shoes, canvases. You name it, he has it. Also, you're in for a treat. If you use the promo code COCP, which stands for Conversations Over Chess Podcast, you'll get free shipping. I repeat, free shipping. Also, be sure to visit his website. Link in the description or up on the screen. Be sure to give him a follow at the_creator, KREATOR. Forget staying thirsty, my friends. Stay legendary. Legendary Apparel, the presenting sponsor of Conversations Over Chess. Peace.
Now back to the podcast.
So, coming into from 2018, you had belief in yourself. Walk us through the journey to now being in 2024, right? Because 2018, it was just those people that were saying, "Hey, go do this. You,
Right,
you
right,
got
right.
it. We see something in you." So to now being here, how has that journey been? Walk us through that a
I
little
mean, the
bit.
journey's been it's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs. But I feel like the journey has been good, like, because I've been able to learn a lot about myself and about music in general, and I feel like music has been able to open doors for
Yeah,
me that I never really even thought would open. You feel what I'm trying to say? So I
yeah,
kind of just been focusing on using the music as a vessel to open doors for me, which is kind of how I started the brand Bag Runner. You know what I mean?
yeah. I was just
So
saying, shout out to the bag
yeah,
runner,
shout
man.
out
He
to
see
Bag
me,
Runner.
stop playing. Pick you
Yeah,
up
you know
something.
what I mean?
It's a link in bio.
So like what's crazy about Bag Runner is
Tell us how that come about.
so I
Where the
actually
name come from? Everything.
I actually made a song called Bag Runner.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? And everybody just kept repeating that to me, like, yo, Bag Runner, Bag Runner, Bag Runner. I'm like, yo, that shit got a ring to it, like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I printed up some hoodies, and just like guerrilla marketing, like, posting it on Instagram, selling it out my trunk, getting it on to people.
Yeah, by any
You know what I
means.
mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Just like
He said, "What
slowly.
you selling here, son?" It's just some t-shirts.
Right,
It's just some
exactly. You know what I mean?
t-shirts.
So it's just like slowly but surely, like, like I said, music opening doors to other things. So now I had to learn about entrepreneurship, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And that really started through the music, which led me into having a clothing line. And I feel like the clothing line is going to grow into something bigger.
Where can they find the clothing line at?
You can find the website, bagrunnerny.com. And you can find me on Instagram too, Bagrunner Lifestyle. The brand has been growing. Like, we do a lot of sneaker conventions, do a lot of pop-up shops, and we working right now on getting like a flagship location.
Yeah, who are some of the most notable people that you sold Bag Runner to?
We had a lot of people like Jim Jones. We had who else we had? We had a lot of people. I can't think off the top of my head. Who else I had? I had my bro Dizzy Banco. Who else I had? A couple people. I just really can't think off the top of my head. But my thing with I feel like everybody's notable. You feel
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say? Because
Yeah.
everybody's an influencer on a small scale. You might be the fly cousin in the family.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
nah,
that's the
for
person
sure.
I want. So, because then when you put it on,
They go
they're
like,
like,
"Where'd you
oh,
get
where
that
you
from?"
get that from, cuz? Oh, yeah, I bet. So,
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's an influencer. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's really my approach to it.
No. So continue on with the clothing line. Outside of the music, what else are you working on? You have the clothing line, you have the music. Anything else that you're working on outside of that?
I mean, right now we just working on the visuals. As far as like I want to get into doing like short films.
Okay.
Because I feel like right now content is everything. So
is.
I want to just tap into incorporating the visuals with the music. So maybe doing a short film with a project, or because that's kind of what like when I had went to college for the short stint that I did go to college.
Which school was you at?
Extremely, you don't even want to know.
Oh,
but
Lord.
it was the extremely short stint at college. That's what I was in school for, like communications and shit, videography. So I kind of want to like use those skills and do a short film and stuff like that. Like you never know, you might see a Bagrunner Tubi movie.
Listen,
you
man,
feel me? You never know, like
Put my boy on Pluto TV. Stop playing.
Right?
Man. Put him on Pluto
Exactly.
TV.
You feel me? So
all right, so I'm just
know.
looking for the visuals. As I say, we'll definitely keep an eye out for that.
Now it's time to pay these bills.
Think global, act local. The Wrld Izyorz offers the coolest men's fashion and accessories at 104 William Street in Newburgh, New York, my hometown. It's also available at thewrldizyorz.com. That is WRLDIZYORZ.com. Be sure to use the discount code COCP, which stands for Conversations Over Chess Podcast, to get 10% off. I repeat, 10% off all of your purchases. Again, Wrld Izyorz, WRLDIZYORZ.com. 10% discount code on the screen. Get you some.
Now back to the podcast.
One thing that I wanted to touch upon is that in the motto for Conversations Over Chess is every loss is a lesson.
Right.
So what losses have you taken along this journey? Because it's been a long one and you still have a long way to go, that you can just educate an individual that's up and coming, an individual that's like yourself, independent artist, that is like you just had to learn this just the hard way. Because we hear it all the time in the interviews, the $1 million worth of games, we hear it with Shannon Sharps, we hear it with the powers to be like, yo, the music is cutthroat, man. I didn't know I was signing my life away in this 360. So what were some lessons that you had to learn the hard way and some mistakes that you made?
I mean, one lesson I had to learn for sure is that everything that glitters is not gold.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some opportunities might, like I done got scammed so many times in this music shit.
Damn.
You feel me? Like
Didn't pay.
thousands of dollars. Not even promoters. Like it'll be people that'll be like, oh, I'm connected with such and such. You know, I could get you this, that, and third. And me just being naive and being hungry, I just be like, yeah, go ahead, come on, let's get it done. You feel me? But then they'll be like, damn, they ghost me. I never heard from them. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Shame on you, city cat getting scammed.
I know, but it's like
cat.
sometimes I learned my lesson. You feel me? I learned my lesson the hard way. I learned my lesson once or twice. After that, I just charged it to the game. But I'm gonna see y'all.
Don't look for me. We'll find you.
Right? You know what I mean?
In the words of Slinky.
Right. So it's like, but sometimes it's like I'd rather take a small loss now and learn my lesson than learn a lesson later on that's gonna cost me.
It cost me
$2,000
now, where it could have cost me $200 million later.
Right, exactly.
I understand it in that respect.
You feel me? So like, you definitely got to do your to all the artists out there, anybody in business in general is janky people. You feel me? So you gotta do your background on these people and don't be so excited at every opportunity, because you got to understand your value. You feel what I mean? So like, don't be excited at every opportunity. Just be focused and keep. Sometimes the opportunity be so good, you just be thinking it's about to go. It's you feel me? But
too good to be true.
Yeah, it's too good. And if it's too good to be true, then it is too good to be
Literally,
true.
French Montana, he had that line where it says, "Never do a deal when you're desperate." Bro,
Right.
that was me, because I'm always wanting to get to it. I'm always wanting more. I want more, and then literally I'll be like, "Damn,
Nah, yeah, exactly.
I made that deal, and now I'm fucked."
Exactly. So it's like you gotta be vigilant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's scammers everywhere, especially now on the internet. They everywhere. So be on point.
No, that's a fact. What artist influences you? Because obviously you've had to been a fan at one point. What are those artists that who are influential to you?
I mean, my favorite rapper growing up was like 50 Cent.
Okay.
My favorite
Get
rapper.
Rich, Die Trying.
Yeah, that was my favorite rapper growing up. And another thing about like 50 is one of my inspirations because he's really entrepreneurial as well. You know what I mean? Like, he had a clothing line, he had video games, he had like a variety of things in his catalog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one of my inspirations. Kobe's one of my inspirations. Not necessarily musically, but just in general, the mindset. Jay-Z, Jadakiss, Drake. You know, anybody that's kind of had success, I kind of just like look at their blueprint and some of their mistakes that they made and some of the good moves that they made, and then try to learn from them.
Have you gotten to meet any of those idols or any of those people that were influential to you?
I mean, I met Jadakiss. I was in the studio with Jadakiss like a year or two ago.
Anything come to fruition out of that?
Nah, I played some music for him, and he was jacking the music heavy, like
Them bad vibes, I'm changing the settings. 750 beam, 750 credit. Plastic pennies on my feet, that's just how I'm stepping. I gave them a free game, guess they ain't learned a lesson. I got here on my own, I ain't in directions. You rock with me, then I rock with you.
And that kind of boosts my confidence even more. Like, that's Jadakiss,
It's
like,
the
you know what I
legend
mean?
himself.
Yeah, you feel me? So
I'm outside.
right, you know, and what's crazy? I was at the Versus too. I was at the Versus too, bro.
Man.
I was like, damn, that's crazy,
Bro, how was that atmosphere?
Bro, honestly, that was one of the best events I ever been to, like ever, bro. And that shit was, and it's like when
was
he,
it at?
it was at MSG, it was at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, that's
yeah. And then when he went crazy, like as he was going crazy, right? I remember as he was going crazy, this dude was standing next to me was like, "Yo, he going crazy." It was kind of like the time stopped, like you know what I mean? It was kind of like he stopped time, like you know what I mean? He went crazy on that shit.
Slinky, shout out to my brother Slinky. Me and Slinky was in California.
Mm-hmm.
We literally watched that on my iPad in like the truck or a car, something like that. Bro, when I say that junk was like.
Nah, yeah, he
crazy,
went
epic.
crazy. He
I'm
went
like, gee.
crazy. And being in a building, bro, that was epic, bro. That was a legendary.
That whole I'm outside, I don't live in Miami. I was like, yo, he's wilding right now.
Nah, yeah, it was epic for sure.
Nah,
like,
that's crazy though.
Word.
What collaborations have you done so far or are looking forward to do?
So far, I mean, I haven't really collaborated with a lot of people, like just a lot of people that I'm close with, like friends. Like my son Mercy Porter,
Okay.
94 Jewel. Those really the only two people I collaborated on a consistent basis with. I probably got a couple more collaborations, but that's one thing I'm definitely trying to work on more is collaborating more and more with people. And I'm always open to collaborations, but I feel like a lot of people don't be serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Waste
But
your
maybe
time.
I got to do a better job as well as reaching out and trying to put things together. So that's my thing. But I feel like collaboration is definitely top of my list.
Yeah.
Now it's time to pay these bills.
This episode is brought to you by DJ DMC. For any parties, kickbacks, and weddings, DJ DMC has your back. You can find him on Instagram at DMCTheGoat, on Instagram at DMCTheGoat. Please be prepared to pay the cost as seen on my shirt. He also makes his clothing line, great premier brand, and be sure to reach out to his Instagram as well at Pay the Cost LLC on Instagram. That is Pay the Cost LLC on Instagram. Get you some.
Now back to the podcast.
I follow an individual named Gary V. He's based out of New York. I'm not too sure if you know
Yeah, I know
Gary
Gary V.
So he has a lot of work around content and about just put it all out. He often says that we haven't heard Michael Jackson or Prince's greatest hit because it's just somewhere in the vault. Like, they just put it out, release a song every single day. So are there things that are sitting in your vault right now that's just like, I should have this out?
Yeah.
What's the reason for it not being out?
I mean, just timing and just overthinking sometimes. And I feel like as artists sometimes we sensitive about our music, and it's something about when you put music out, it just sounds different. Like me, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I'm kind of selfish in a way. Like if I got some unreleased music, like if I got unreleased music, I'd be like, I need to make some more unreleased for me, so I can listen to it when I'm driving. You know what I mean? Like, so that's one thing too. Like definitely, like this year, what year is this? 2024.
2024.
Yeah, I'm not holding nothing back. Like I'm flooding the market because I feel like you gotta feed the people.
Yeah.
Whether it's on a small scale or a big scale, like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to put volume out there so people could just catch on. Because eventually, all you need is one. All you need is one.
Downtown.
Right. All you need is one, you know what I mean? So, like, once you get that one, and you're not going to have it till you put it out there. So, you know what I mean? Just being consistent and just putting music out there. So, 2023, I really only dropped, like 9 tracks.
Okay.
Like, if that, probably like 6 or 7. But this year I'm trying to drop like 60. You feel me?
feel
And like
you.
I'm trying to 10x that. You feel me? I'm trying to.
And you already have those in the clip where it's like you have to go into the studio and
I mean, I'ma just like I already have a couple songs in the vault
Yeah.
that's like that's ready. But as I keep recording, I'm just not gonna hold on to those songs for a long period of time. Like I'm
Yeah.
just gonna flood. You know what I mean?
One thing that I wanted to touch on is that it's not always glitter and gold,
Mm-hmm.
and it's I hate to say it, but it's always your own people.
Right,
You be
right,
your
right.
own people. Talk to those experiences that you had because it's not always that somebody's gonna support you and you would be like, yo, that's I knew them, went to high school,
Right, right.
like he was my man. It's like, what's going on? Why? What's up with it? So talk to those experiences that you had and how has that affected you
Mm-hmm.
and how have you dealt with it?
I feel like my thing is this. I feel like you shouldn't want support. As crazy as that sounds, you shouldn't want support. You should focus on having a good product to where people don't got no choice but to take heed to it. You feel what I'm saying?
I
Because
like
like,
that.
if you want support, it's kind of like pity. Like support me, support
Yeah.
me. It's like no, I don't want to support you. You feel me? Like people that cry for support. Like I never cry for support because I feel like that's like disrespectful to the people that's actually supporting me. You feel what I'm trying to say? So I feel like just focus on your craft and focus on putting out a good product. You feel me? Good music, whatever
results
you
will
got
speak
going
for
on.
themselves.
Yeah, the results speak for themselves, and then the people that's closest to you, they not gonna see the vision because they already see you in a certain light.
That's
You
a
feel what
fact.
I'm saying? They already got an image of you in where they can't get it out of, and you can't be mad at them. It's still love, but a stranger from across the world might see you and be like, "Yo, I ain't gonna lie, that's actually super dope." Like,
Yeah.
you feel what I'm saying? So focus on that. Like, like.
That's something that I've just seen across my own experiences
Mm-hmm.
where it's just like it's okay that the crib don't necessarily see what I see
Right.
because it's my vision, nobody else's. But one thing Will Smith always says is that if you don't even believe in it, then what are you
Right,
doing?
exactly,
Like you
exactly.
have to believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm about to become president.
Mm-hmm.
The age is 35. I'm 27. In the next couple years, like you have to literally believe it. It has to be something you obsess over.
Right.
So I can understand that all too well. Where it's just like certain things that I set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
Be a college graduate, do all these great, wonderful things. Like it's like you had to obsess over those things. You had to sacrifice, and it's okay if everybody laughed at you. They laughed at me setting this up, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's just like it's okay, but you have to believe in you.
Right. And once you got that belief in yourself, like, people got no choice but to, and usually like, the people like, your hometown, whatever, they gonna catch
Yeah.
on later.
That's a
Once
fact.
everybody else put you on a pedestal, they like, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't even really try to focus on that. Like, in the world, there's 8 billion people in the world, bro. Like, feel me? You can't.
I always say that when it comes to women, I'm like, yo, it's 8 billion people. One of these women is for me. So
Right.
I mean, I'm trying to find my love. Hey, girl, wherever you at, babe, I'm looking for you. But
I mean, only one?
so that's what got me in trouble last time. That's what got me in trouble last time. I'm faithful now, women. I'm faithful. I stepped out before, but I'm faithful now. I'm faithful now.
Yeah, he learned his
I had to learn
lesson.
my lesson the hard way. I learned my lesson the hard way, boy. I tell you.
Oh, man.
Stay away from women. Just stay away from women, fellas, please.
Right, it'd be like that. Stay off them Instagrams.
Yeah, do
know
not
what
go
I
in the
mean?
DMs, please.
Unfollow all them big booty pages.
It's
All
a
of
trap,
them.
bro. They paid for that.
Clean that Instagram up.
Nah, for real, for real. I was gonna say the season finale of the season finale of season 1. It was with Luke Pena. I'm not too sure. if
Yeah,
you
I know
remember.
Luke. Yeah,
and it
yeah.
talked about his battle with addiction. And it was with his battle with paying for escorts, watching porn, things like that. And I'm proud that he was able to share that with the world, just because it was therapeutic for himself. He got help. He got clean, right, sober, quote unquote. So for real, when it comes to women and all of that, it's it can get sucked
It
in.
could get, yeah, of course.
You
of
speak to that a
course.
little bit actually, because not only are you in a dangerous industry, you're in an industry where it's just like everything is accessible right there. You at the
Right.
strip clubs, you're doing this. Like, speak to that a little bit.
I mean, I feel like you got to be disciplined. You feel me? It's hard. It's hard. I ain't gonna lie, but you got to be disciplined. Like, you feel me? Because it could be your downfall. You feel what I'm saying? Especially now, you see all these stuff going on. You gotta really take heed to the type of people that you have around you in general, not just women. You feel me? But you gotta be on point, and you gotta be real intentional with your time, because your time could get wasted. So that's really the only asset that you got.
Facts.
So you gotta really you know, and it's always good to have good women around you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing like having a good woman around you. Like, you feel me? So you gotta know who's a good woman and who's pretending.
Now it's time to pay these bills.
This episode is brought to you by Toes clothing brand, the hottest streetwear from the DC area, based on the principle of community, perseverance, and integrity. From the community, for the community. Stand for something, or you fall for anything. Shop online at 1tentoes.com. That is the number 1 TENTOES.com. And follow on Instagram at 1tentoes LLC. That is the number 1 TENTOES LLC. We are 10 Toes. Get you some.
Now back to the podcast.
Literally, I always tell people so often that it's like, yo, if I could just form a team, it would be just like how Jalen Hurts has an all-woman staff.
Yeah, because they gonna get shit done.
Bro, they get it done, and they just think different than us. It's okay. That whole boys are from Mars, like, it's okay that we from two different planets. I don't need you thinking like me.
Right.
Because it's not always going to be the best, so I need you to have my backside. And I feel like having a woman in your life, a good woman, a good solid woman, can 10x you in so many different ways,
Yeah,
bro.
for sure, 100%.
Like, every man that I've seen that's doing well, they have, like, a woman right there that has pushed them. They have their black queens right by their side. So I can appreciate that. I'm looking for you. Wherever you at, come find me. Wherever you at, baby girl.
We gonna get you an African woman, I guess.
Bro, I used to date an African woman.
Oh, for real?
Listen,
From where?
Shout out to Pauline. She was from Kigali, Rwanda, bro.
Oh, Rwanda?
Yeah,
Oh, fire.
she broke up with me. Shout out to you. We still friends, but I miss that putty cat. But listen, listen, bro, it's crazy. But no, I will say I appreciate her so much because I'm an American, so I only understand the American culture. When I was with her, she's the second oldest of 7, but she's the only girl. The rest of her friends were, the rest of her siblings were all boys. It's easy to bond. It's just guys' night for me.
Right.
But I understood the role that she played as a woman, the role that her mother played as a woman, just the dynamic of the African culture, bro. Bro, that fufu, the food that she put me on to, bro.
Come on.
Mother love out.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. That good food.
Bro,
It's over
I just
with.
knew we was gonna be together forever after that food. She said,
For
"Hit this
real.
fufu with that fish." I said, "Girl."
Oh man, it hit different.
But no, that whole camaraderie and just understanding about family dynamic, I really do appreciate her just being that moment in my life to say, "Hey, look, your family is important." Where I wasn't always the best brother, I wasn't always the best whatever to my family, so.
Right.
I had to turn that around after she and I broke up. I was like, you know what? Family is important.
Right.
So,
Not for sure.
But yeah, find me an African girl.
I got you.
I'm looking for an African boy. Listen, you are my African. But nah. But no, so what projects are coming out soon? One of my favorite songs is Unstoppable. Tell me how that came about.
So, you know, it's crazy. Unstoppable really came about like during the pandemic. Which is crazy because I recorded that song in my bathroom, like, you know, I recorded that song in my bathroom, and then I had the song for a minute, and then when I went to the studio with Jadakiss, I played it for Jada, and Jada was like, oh, like that's hard, like, you feel me? After that, I shot the video. And then, like, the song is still building up, like, years. Like I said, I recorded that during the pandemic, which was almost 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So the song is still building, like, you know, and I'm still pushing it. So I feel like there's no timeline on the music. Like, you know, you be thinking that, oh, is it something that's old to you is new to somebody else. You feel what I'm trying to say? So, like, I'm still pushing that, like, you know, and I feel like that song is just organic. Like, it wasn't really, I didn't really.
You didn't have to force it.
Yeah, I didn't really think too hard.
It was just a natural good one.
Yeah, it just happened, like, you know what I mean? And that's one of my favorite joints right now. That's a lot of people like that, and they like the video too. But I just dropped an EP on. It was supposed to drop on Valentine's Day, but we got pushed back because of some samples.
Okay.
I had a song with 21 Questions by 50.
Yeah.
I had a sample. I used a sample. I tried to sneak it in there, but they wasn't having it. Yeah, they pushed.
AI is picking that up.
Yeah,
back in the day, they was
quick.
actually having somebody listen to all the songs. Now, bro, you're not getting past technology.
Yeah, they picked it up quick, so I was fake tight, but they pushed it back. I didn't get to put that song on it, but I had a bunch of other fire songs. The EP is called Bouquet.
Okay.
like a bouquet of flowers, like it's supposed to drop on Valentine's Day, but it dropped like a couple days ago, and it's getting good feedback. So we're gonna shoot some visuals on that,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna drop my birthday coming like next month. So we're gonna drop some. Like I said, we're gonna flood this year. I'm flooding everything, visuals,
It's all the way up.
freestyles. Like we dropping music nonstop, like for real.
To walk me through the business of music. Obviously, we hear about just like you just said, you've sampled somebody. Walk us through the steps of getting a song out, creating the song. Like, are you a producer? Like, are you writing this? Walk us through those steps, because a lot of individuals like myself, to this day, 27, I had to learn like, oh, it's a difference between the producer and the artist and the person that's writing it. Like, I
Right.
didn't know that. All I'm hearing is just this is a song.
Right.
I just heard the song from Bagrunner. That's it. But there's a lot of things that go into it on the back end. Speak to that and just walk us through.
So my process is like, I record a lot of my music at home, you know what I mean? Like, because I used to go to the studio a lot, but financially,
Yeah.
it just really didn't make sense for me spending, $200-$300 to be in the studio for 2-3 hours. You feel me? Like, it just didn't make sense for me. So I invested, and I got the right equipment, got a microphone, the interface, a laptop with the software.
Yeah.
And I learned how to record myself, and I learned how to record myself during the pandemic. So once I did that, that was like the best thing for me, because I always say, like, it's kind of like if you play ball, it's like having a hoop in your backyard.
Yeah.
You feel me? You could practice whenever you want.
Great
You could shoot
analogy,
whenever you
too.
want. Right? Instead of just going to the, going
Yeah.
to the gym once in a blue. You
I gotta
feel
go to
what I'm
LA
saying?
Fitness that's charging me $50 for the day. I'm like, yo, G, what's going
Right,
on?
exactly. You feel me? So I'm putting up as much shots as possible. So it's kind of like, it just helps me work with my craft, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my process is, I find a beat. Once I find a beat, and then I just record on it depending on how I feel on it. And then to get it on the streaming platforms, you gotta, usually work with a distributor, whether it's like TuneCore,
Okay.
DistroKid, United Masters, or those type of companies. And what they do is they take like a small percentage, and then they'll distribute your music on like Apple
Every
Music,
single day.
Spotify, and those type of things. And they do the same for podcasts and stuff too.
Yeah.
So that's basically the process of the music. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I was gonna say, what other shout outs? And is there any other shout outs that you have that you that you want to mention?
Nah, shout out everybody that been supporting. I appreciate it. Shout out to you for having me on the platform.
I appreciate you.
You know what I mean? 2024 we going up. We got the brand back on the lifestyle. We still building that. We got the music. Yeah, shout out everybody that been supporting. No specific shout outs, but shout out to everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say, one thing I wanted to circle back to is your upbringing. We had started at 2018, but bring us to your family foundation. You had mentioned your mom and your dad. How much were they influential in just you as being the man that you are? Not even musically, but just the man that you are today.
I feel like that played a big part. Like my upbringing, like I kind of had a crazy upbringing, bro, because
What made it crazy?
I've been exposed to so much. Like, so I was born in the U.S., but then I lived in Africa till I was like 7. You know what I mean?
okay.
So when I came back to the U.S., when I was like 7, and then I moved to the Bronx. I didn't speak no English. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't speak no English at all.
did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't speak no English, but I picked up English quick, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I picked up English in like from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year. I just remember having English down pat.
What was your first word that you knew in English?
I don't even remember, but I just remember trying to talk to girls.
Yeah.
You feel me? Trying to talk to girls.
And got you a jelly. He's back to women.
Right, you feel me? I remember trying to talk to girls, and at the beginning of the school year, they didn't like me because I didn't speak no English, but by the end of the year, they was on my body. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, after that, I feel like, I kind of just been exposed to so many different cultures. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and just like, having a lot of good people around me. Like you said, Africans, like, we big on a family dynamic. So like, I feel like I had a village, you know what I mean, of people that were very influential on me. You know what I mean? So I feel like that played a big part on me.
What was the reason for you guys, born in the States, went back to Africa? What was the reason that you guys went back to?
Now it's time to pay these bills.
This episode is brought to you by Heart and Soul Training. They're the premier sports and basketball training in DMV while also offering training sessions in Delaware and New Jersey. Training athletes of all ages from young kids to even pro athletes. Some pro athletes by the name of Jordan Allen, aka JA to you all, who just hit 13 threes down in Mexico. Also, they trained Martez Robinson, the personnel at Delaware State University, down to a MEAC conference finals. Heart and Soul Training, what are you waiting for? Go check them out. Details in the description or on the screen.
Now back to the podcast.
I mean, I just went back. My parents stayed in the U.S., but I just went back. I went back to live with my grandmother.
That was a decision they made, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a different lifestyle over there, though. It wasn't like, it was good. Like, I was living great. I ain't gonna lie. I was living great, bro. I ain't know.
Yeah, you want to come back.
I ain't know what the struggle was till I came here. Oh God. I ain't know what the
African prince over there. You came over
yeah,
here.
I was
like,
living
hey.
good. I'm like, damn. I came back over here. I'm like, God damn. One bedroom? Shit. But like I said,
So,
I've been exposed to so much.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, they was just like, hey, go live with your grandparents where it's a better life for you. Like,
I mean,
the better life was over there, not in the States.
Nah, it's probably just like, I don't know. I really don't know. I never really asked, like, but
Yeah.
it's probably just like, I don't know. I just feel like it was, in the long term, I feel like it was a good decision because like I got to learn how to speak French. I really got to learn about my
still speak
culture.
French to this day?
Yeah, I still speak French.
Ça
Like,
va.
ça va bien, ça va bien. But I feel like I got exposed. I got like really, because I feel like if I would have just stayed in the States, I would have never been like learned my culture as much. You feel what I'm trying to say? Like, you feel me? So I feel like that was important for me to be foundationally to be tied in with my culture. You feel what I'm trying to say? So like eventually I want to grow my brand and stuff in Africa too. You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel like Africa is the future. You feel me?
You said you went back during 2022 or 2021 to Africa.
2022.
Speak to how much Africa is in person versus to how it's compared to in American cinematography. Because
I feel like it's way different. It's way different. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything you got here, you got there. You feel me? But of course the media is gonna, make it seem like something that it's not. But like in my country, bro, like, like the economy is growing. Like it's stuff. Anything that you could do here, you could do there, bro. Like everything, business wise, resource wise. It's just like, and it's still growing. You know what I mean? Like that's the scary part. And then the thing about Africa is the majority in my country. I think mostly in Africa too. The majority of the population is young, like as far as like under 25. You feel what I'm trying to say? So there's a lot of opportunity there. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of youth there. You feel me? So I feel like people like me, like that's lived in lived abroad.
Definitely.
Like we could definitely bring a lot back there. You feel what I'm trying to say? So that's definitely one of my goals. Like have my own crib out there, have a couple businesses out there. You know what I mean? Because it's just different.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was like I had told you I dated an African girl just because as I got older I understood that relationships you have to be selfless. So I always wanted to get educated about what her tradition was, what her culture was, and then I had doing the research about Rwanda. I was like, yo, Rwanda is actually like a bustling city where it's like one of the more cleanest cities in the world. Like they don't play around and not think. And I don't know if this is true, but I believe it's once a week. The entire small communities, they go out and they just clean around like their village or whatever, like the city, the streets, wherever they live at. Like they'll just go up and clean. Like how we just every once in a while people will be outside sweeping a little stuff off the street.
Right.
They'll do that, and it's like a not necessarily required, but it's like it's in a custom.
Right.
And it's crazy because you just think it's just huts with mud and people running around with no clothes on and titties hanging out.
Right.
It's like, bro, that's not the case.
Nah, yeah, of course. But I mean, you got to think about it from this angle. Like, if you, from the Black American state of view, like, if you feel like, if they want to keep you down, they want to keep your worth down, so they don't want you to know what you really come from. You feel what I'm trying to say? So of course they're gonna portray those narratives. You feel
that's
what I'm
a
trying
fact,
to
and
say?
that's a whole different podcast for
exactly.
Because
exactly.
that is so true. Because as the African Americans, right, it's just like we don't even know where we come from.
Exactly.
And that's a whole, like I said, series because that causes a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
So we'll touch upon that on another episode for sure. But you touched it right on the head. One thing I wanted to touch on is that rappers are passing away at an extremely high rate. You're a rapper, right? how has the individuals that died, and I've never met Nipsey Hussle, and sadly to admit this, I've only listened to his music after he passed. But when he was murdered for the world to see, that really affected me.
Right.
I cried. That made me feel away, and I was just like, bro, like, what is going on? So, our own loved one, Pop Smoke, who you actually had a collaboration with.
Yeah, I opened up for Pop Smoke.
Yeah, so it's just like people are passing away in the rap game. Speak to that a little bit. How's it making you feel? Like, are you an extinct species? Like, what's going on? Just speak to that.
I wouldn't really say rappers. I would say black men in general. You feel what I'm trying to say? Because, and I feel like a lot of it got to do with, just like the content of, a lot of it's just the lifestyle stuff. Stuff been going on before we was born. You feel what I'm trying to say? So I just feel like, especially if you somebody that's climbing up the ranks, you kind of become a target. You feel what I'm trying to say? So I feel like you just got to keep the energy around you clean. You got to be in the right environments, and you can't be afraid to leave certain things behind. You feel what I'm trying to say? Certain people behind. Certain habits behind. So I feel like black men in general, like you got to be conscious of what you consuming, things that you saying in your songs too, because a lot of stuff that you say in your music is gonna come to life. So don't rap about dying. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be conscious of everything that you putting out there. You feel what I'm trying to say? So like like even that Nip Hussle's, like I was a big fan of Nipsey too. As far as like his entrepreneurship.
Yeah, now that side I knew about, and I was like, bro, I think it was mixtapes or his albums that were independently produced was like 100,000 for one. Like I'm like, bro, he's banking off of that because he's profiting on everything. That's all take home. I don't have to give 50% to the production. Like nah, this all me.
Right.
And when Hov supported him, I'm like, that's what it's about right there.
Nah, of course, like and being a pioneer and just doing stuff different, thinking outside of the box. You feel me? But when you in certain positions, like you kind of you become a target even by your own people. So, you got to really be conscious of that. And, black men in general, like, you got to just be on point.
Yeah. One thing, because I personally know you, is that I understand that you have a responsibility in this world. And you're no longer living for just yourself.
Right.
How much has your little daughter being in this world helped you so much? Because I understand, as I have nieces and nephews. I have no kids myself, but just being in that uncle role, it means so much to me.
Right.
So for my brothers and sisters to have that be directly, that's mine, I know how much of a privilege it is to have them in their lives and how much they might have saved them. Those kids might have saved their own life, right? Because you start thinking differently.
Right.
How much has that little one helped you in your life?
It's definitely helped me a lot. As far as like growing, maturity wise, and just like looking at life from a different angle. Like you know what I mean? Like wow, like it's just like it's like looking at yourself all over again. You feel what I'm trying to say? So like you trying to teach, try to be the best version of you. You know what I'm saying? Because that somebody else is watching you, and kids, they pick up on everything. So you gotta always try to put the best version of you, in front of them. Definitely. So they can, they can learn, and when they eventually grow to be an adult, they can, be successful.
Did you purchase your TI arsenal? Because you got a daughter.
Shit, I'm gonna have to move down south for that. Because New York,
bro, you get caught with a gun, that guarantee 5.
Exactly. So New York, they don't play that, but for sure.
TI, what you guys got? Probation off of 15 grenades and rocket launchers and a submarine. I'm like, nigga,
nah, submarine is.
What you doing with a submarine, bro?
Shit, you don't know who he had beef with.
Nigga,
he had beef with the army. But down south is different though. They just be doing whatever. Like.
Bro, they make
you know what I mean?
Texas, you can't get an abortion, but you can have 18 guns.
Man, listen, and you could just have it out, like
bro.
Like, goddamn.
So I used to live in Utah, and Utah is basically like Texas, where it's like a no gun law state. You gotta, if you have a valid driver's license at 18, you can and lived in the state, you can go get a gun. Wow, simple as that. Walk around with it on your hip. I'll never forget, I was working overnights. Quick little story. I was working overnights at a hotel in Utah. White dude came in, gun is on his hip. Country dude, got the whole little shebang on, hat on, everything. I'm like, damn, is this how I'm going out, God?
Right.
I ain't leave the hood to come down in Utah.
Right.
But he just was checking in the hotel. I was like, thank you, Jesus. But it's literally just...
Yeah, they just got it on them, like, everywhere. Florida, Louisiana.
Bro.
They just be having it on them. So
Florida, I'm scared to live in Florida, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll visit. I'll go to Miami anytime, but I'm just scared to live that level.
I mean, I feel like Miami is like a baby New York.
No, Miami is good. I'll visit, but I just won't ever live in the state.
Oh, the state? Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, Florida just too weird for me, I ain't gonna lie. Love you, Florida, but not that much.
Good place to visit.
Yeah, nah, for real. Talk about some of the places that you've been outside of just the music, because I see you were at Invest Fest.
Hey, when I see what's going on, we here in West Fest. I see what's going on, man. Big banner, you know what I'm saying? We not playing with it. Outside, sweatsuits, shorts, shirts, you know what I'm saying? When I get back to New York, it's a movie, you feel what I'm saying? I'm in an A right now, and we gonna get right. Tap in with me, Invest Fest, man. Bagrunner.
What investing do you do? I see that you read a lot of books for just a lot of everything. It's not like you're just in one single lane.
Right.
A lot of people might just be like, oh, he's a dumb rapper. No.
Right.
My man is highly educated, although he only did a brief stint in college.
Right.
Don't let the non-degree fool you.
Right. You know what I mean? Not, like I say, I feel like, you know, you could always teach yourself stuff, especially now with the YouTube. I always tell people I went to YouTube University.
There you go.
You feel me? Anything I wanted to learn, I go to YouTube, or you know, I go to Barnes and Nobles and pick up a book and learn like that. Like, you know, Invest Fest and those type of events, like I said, you got to be around. You got to be in the right setting. You know what I mean? And you know, those type of events is good for networking, meeting new people. That's, you know, doing stuff that you want to do. You feel what I'm saying? And one thing that's like important, I feel like you gotta see stuff visually. Like, you know, you gotta see somebody with that big house in order for you to feel like it's possible for you. You feel what I mean? Like, you know, you gotta really see it, and then once you see it, then you could build your own. You know what I mean? So like, Invest Fest, that was a cool event. I was just in London not too long ago. That was super cool. Paris, Africa. Like, you know, I feel like traveling too is important because you gotta broaden your view of the world. Like, there's people all over. Like,
That's why I'm always envious. This summer I'm going over to Paris, but that's why I've always been envious, because I've been to 48 out of 50 states. I've lived in 10 states, but that's just the American view.
Yeah.
And I've always been envious and just like, yo, I can't wait till that's me, because, bro, I understand, like, this ain't real. What's through this phone on social ain't real. Let me go put the feet on the ground, and where individuals like yourself have. It's just like, nah, I can tell you and show you because I've been there.
Right. I mean, the U.S. is like a whole continent, bro. If you really think about it, like you said, 48 out of 50 states. That's like, if you really want to be technical, it's like 48 countries.
No,
you feel what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, every state got different laws, different this, different that. Like, the U.S. is just a big, vast land. You know what I mean? But like, you know, once you start going overseas, it's different. The food is different. The vibes is different, and they love Americans too.
That's
you know what I mean?
fact.
So,
hey, ladies.
you don't even gotta do much. You just gotta speak.
Yeah.
They be like, "Oh, that's a real American accent." I'm like, "What you mean? What you mean accent? Like, this is."
They
how
just
I
slide you the room card, like, all right.
You know what I mean? So it hit different. You know what I mean?
No, that's a fact. I think I've seen that whole exposure leads to expansion in real time, because my brother, he came to visit me when I used to live in Minnesota, and just us being over there, that's the neighboring states, is, you know, the Dakotas and all of these and Wisconsin. So him getting to see that, it's just like, yo, bro, it's different out here.
Different. It is.
It's just a different world. We ain't in Kansas anymore, boy. So I got to see that and witness it up close. So it was something that was near and dear to me, and it's important to travel. It really is important. If you have the means, I encourage everybody in the world to travel.
Yeah, and it don't even really cost that much. Like,
really
keep it
don't.
a buck. Like, if you just be disciplined, $400-$500, $600, you could do that. And especially if you smoke or you got a habit that you do on a monthly basis, if you could cut that out for a little bit, you could definitely take a trip.
Let me give you the real game. I work in accounting and finance. There's this thing called Klarna. Sponsor me for this.
Right.
Klarna, you literally, let's just say I need to purchase this because I'm an artist. This costs $2,000. Klarna says, hey, we'll break this payment up into 6 payments. Just give me a $200 down payment.
Right.
You can finance your way to these trips, people. I promise you. The rest of the world is doing it. You can do it too. Be responsible. Don't try to finance a goddamn.
Yeah, do some shit you can't afford.
Yeah, don't call conversations over chess emailing me talking about you said go use Klarna to go fund my dreams. Yeah, I didn't say your dream was a yacht.
Get a Bugatti.
Yeah, don't do that. But all I'm saying is that it's affordable. You take you and the family, pay $20 a month, finance that way for a trip, man.
No, for sure.
If individuals know how to play chess, we typically end the conversation by saying, what is your favorite chess piece and why? And individuals that don't, I always say, if the world had your undivided attention, everybody in the world was watching you, and you had to give them a piece of advice that could save them any heartache and pain, anything in the world that could just save one individual some heartache and pain, if you can just look into the camera and just let us know what that would be.
Damn, that's tough.
Yeah, the whole world's watching.
That's super tough.
So one of my favorite ones that I've had, he's episode 6. Shout out to Miles Carter. He said, "Find God, read the Quran," and that was it. I was like, "That's a bar right there." Right. So just little things like that. Other people were long-winded. Other people were just short with it. So the whole world's watching. You trying to save somebody some heartache and pain.
I would say just, believe in yourself. Simple as that. Like, I feel like as human beings, we underrate ourselves, our capabilities. You know what I mean? So I feel like just believe in yourself. Like, it's not nothing that you can't do. You know what I mean? You just got to work towards it. Believe in yourself. The world is yours. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like as human beings, we complex individuals, complex beings. So it's not nothing you can't do. You just got to do it.
That's a fact.
Right.
Miliano Bagrunner.
Of course, you know what I mean?
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping by the podcast.
My favorite chess piece is the king.
The king?
Yeah.
All right. Tell us why then. Huh? Tell us why.
I mean, I don't know.
Thank you guys for joining us for Conversations Over Chess. See you guys in the next episode. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Nothing ever comes to a sleeper but a dream. So I'm woke, try and get that money any means. Used to watch mom sweat them clothes to get them clean. Grew up in the slums, ain't shit that I ain't seen. And it's still free, all the guys till they free. Couple niggas crippin' and the others throwing bees. One thing for sure, they gon' all ride for me. Cause we ain't never phased no gang family. Damn, what a blessing, all them low nights had me stressing. Praying to the maker, hoping someone get this message.